Okay, this is, today's October 14th, 2021. Yesterday, William Shatner went on his orbital thing. That was the 13th of October. Now, I had just, maybe a week ago, put up something that the New York media broadcast was saying it's Latino Heritage Hispanic Month. And Lynn and I were like, when did, that's news to us, like, we never had that before. And now today, October 14th, the news on CBS 2 is mentioning and making the clicks about Italian Heritage Month. Now, that, I've heard of St. Gennaro's Festival, but actually just recently I heard of it. But I know that's a big Italian thing. Linda says she's heard the history of St. Gennaro's Festival in the fact that it's been an ongoing event. When they were dating, it was still going on. So it's been going on for a long time, even though I was not exposed to it. But now the news is saying it's not mentioning Hispanic anything for this one broadcast. It's mentioning Italian Heritage Month, which is really interesting in Truth in Broadcasting, because it's very confusing when this is the only source of real-world information, picture, and view for North America and for the state of New York. For these clicks and these messages to be so transverse and mucky and muddy and confusing. So I'm going to just play it because I have proof. So this is Shatner for yesterday.
This trip for
That's him coming down. It's CBS 2. Yay, yay, yay on the set of Human.
Prince William is calling out business tycoons like Jeff Bezos for focusing so much on space exploration and, in his words, not doing enough for climate change. He made those comments today ahead of next month's UN Climate Change Summit in Scotland. William says he worries that the issue has become all talk and no action.
We need some of the world's greatest brains and minds fixed on trying to repair this planet.
By the way, this is the first time I've ever heard this man speak. I've never even heard his voice before, ever, on New York television or in my own life frame. He's never even been on a broadcast that's been presented. It's always from afar. He was a little boy and he was Princess Diana's son, and that's all and then he's on covers of magazines in the tabloids in the local drugstore when you wait to buy your 5 and dime products. That's the only exposure that we've had.
This planet, not trying to find the next place to go and live.
Queen Elizabeth, Prince Charles, and Prince William will all attend the climate conference next month.
Wow, strong words.
I know, he's serious.
By the way, back to William Shatner being nervous. Hello.
Yeah.
But that does answer the question, why is nobody really taking climate change seriously? In New York, I haven't met anybody that even knows it exists. In all of my recorded days of having to be alive and walk through this radiological project, there's been so few that have mentioned it. And if they mention it, it's more of like a kitschy thing. It's more of like a venue thing. It's not really like I'm taking this seriously thing. It's more of like money-making schematics, and then let's just quiet up because whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody can blame him.
I like the psych job, though, he did it himself.
I know, right?
Convinced himself that it's all good.
My goodness.
Until that moment.
Takes a lot of courage to do
Sure
that.
does.
How about this? A taste of summer today, Lonnie Quinn.
Beautiful one. Let me take a look. There's your picture right now. It's been a great day, start to finish. No problems with the night ahead. Mostly sunny currently. 74 degrees. 74 right now. Everybody on this map into the 70s, even the cool spots. I mean, coolest reading anywhere. Monticello at 73, the Park 76. You were 77 at the Hampton, 78 for Belmar. I will say this much. You don't see it listed up here. Newark, guys, you guys hit 82 degrees
I got
today.
Sam Champion and Lonnie Quinn confused.
Full force
Whatever.
today.
I don't
It's
really
gonna be
watch the
summery
news, so
again
it's
for your
hard. And
day
I
on
don't know the
Friday.
station of the other guy.
Slight chance, maybe late tomorrow for a sprinkler or two. I don't think it's going to be a big player at all. High pressure is basically in control. You see a couple of little fair weather clouds out there. That high pressure system on one side, rain on the
Yeah,
other.
almost.
More likely to find the rain by the time you get to later in the day on Saturday. But I'm telling you, I'm thinking Saturday may end up being a pretty warm day as well. We'll talk about the extended forecast in just a bit. But for your day tomorrow, overnight low, 64 degrees, partly clear.
I had to pause it. I'm running out of memory.
Preserving Italian enclaves, what a nonprofit is doing to celebrate Italian Heritage Month and preserve history. And coming up tonight at
Italian enclaves. My God, they gave us a mention. I ran into a gentleman last night by the name of Greg on my Gregorian calendar. He was the one in front of Bank of America that had this tiny sanitation cart, but it's carting, CARTING, which is a different type, I believe, of garbage removal. It's more for demolition and renovation than sanitation, which does a whole different area of like personal garbage and things. One is more for demolition and clean outs and things for renovations. And he has the company Queen's Carting. I ran into Greg last night. I took a photo of Bank of America, and he lined up these 4 tiny, adorable, like mini carting things. There was 5, and then a 6th one off to the side. And then I went back later, and I said I had written something, and I said mini carting, whatever. And then I went back and I said, I have to ask you, I said, in all my years of construction projects and project management stuff and looking over and just like from afar, I've never seen, I've seen, 5 yards, 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards. I was like, but I've never seen, so what are these called? He said, they're called minis. And I said, wow. I said, that's amazing. So anyway, so he told me his last name. I don't remember it. I'm really bad with names. I told him my name because he asked for it. And I asked him, I said, is that Greek? Because around here, everybody usually leads with Greek. And I'm like, and he's like, no, it's actually Italian. And I'm like, oh, it's Italian. I was like, well, again, I was like, I say I'm Russian. I was like, because the Italians around here, they don't look Italian and the Greeks really don't look Greek. I was like, so I go with something totally different, like I've never heard of or seen around here. And so he started laughing. And I go, but no, like my father is from Northern Italy. So then he asked me something, but we got turned around in conversation. But important facts for that was he was on the Gregorian calendar and his name was Greg. And he looked Northern Italian, like he could have been from Alonso in family lineage. It was nighttime, so I couldn't see the amount of ultraviolet or ultraviolet light sun damage that this gentleman had. I'm suffering from a huge amount, besides the fact that I have coffee cleanse that I'm trying to work with, which also tints the skin a different whatever. So that happened. So enclave, I guess, or I call it coven, Coven, but that's, again, ancient words in respectable places. I have not really, Joseph Carollo, he talked about an oven, but he left the C off of coven. And I let him lead and end with that, and I just sat there like a lady listening, and I did not contribute. I just let him go with the crazy story that he came up with, and I just silently applauded him and said, that is very interesting, Joseph. What am I going to say? So that's it. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. Bayside Station, Bayside, New York. It's it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken.